I'm hoping to see some lightning tonight, although the weatherman says it's not going to be any rain. Will this be plenty of rain, all right? Winds, thunder, lightning? He wants a hell of a storm.
I'm brave on the thunder. I woke last night to the sound of thunder. Wait on the thunder. Waiting on the thunder.
What's up, Rebels? What is going on? Who's in the chat? What is going on, guys? We have me, which I was saying hello to Fabulous earlier. Fabulous says, "What's up, Rebels?" I've got John Joker in here. He says, "Rebels!" Greedo in a Speedo. What's up, buddy? How are you? A little rock and roll, little Speedos. I like that. How's it going, guys? This is going to be a fun little live, man. I'm having somebody on here that I watch a lot. It's 80s Toys Rock. It's BURF. He is really entertaining, man. I think you guys are going to have a good time watching. Ultra Carter Zilla, what's up, man? How are you, my friend? Nice to see you on here as well. Yeah, this is going to be a blast, guys. This is going to be really cool. So he will be on here very soon. Have you guys picked up anything this weekend? I have done a little bit of hunting. I have not found much. I have made a video today, and I will post it probably later on tonight. It's a little Walmart hunt. I did see a couple of really cool things. I'm not really into them, but you guys might be. And I will be posting that. I'm sure I'll be posting it tonight for sure. Later on tonight sometime. But yeah, this is going to be a fun one, guys. It's going to be really cool. Greedo. So you guys got any plans for the weekend? Anything going on? You picked up your nuts. Well, it's about time, John. Oh, my gosh. But yeah, I've done a little bit of hunting today. I haven't really found too much. I did go to a couple of vintage comic stores looking for some more G.I. Joes for John and I's G.I. Joe videos that we've been doing on Wednesdays. But I couldn't find anything I was really interested in. I'm still kind of looking. And Ufa Sandy's nuts. Very nice. I plan to get some Hiya Toy Predators figures to go with my 1/8. Yeah, definitely. That would be killer. That would be really cool, Ultra Cardizilla. You should definitely do that. That'd be sweet. Hello, Ed. Rebels No Rules. What's up, Richard Bird? How are you? I'm playing Have a Drink over tonight. Yeah! All right, so without further ado, I'm going to introduce my guest. Like I said, I'm a fan of my guest as well. Like, I have watched him. I watch him almost every day. He posts a video almost every day, and I cannot wait to see what this guy finds, man. He does a lot of thrift shopping, which nobody else does that. I think it's killer. Really cool. So without further ado, BURF! What is up, brother?
I'm doing good. How are you?
This is awesome. Yeah, I watch you like every day, dude.
Oh, thanks, man.
Me
I
and my son, my wife, we watch you like every day. You're catchy.
Awesome.
You're catchy.
Sorry, I was a little late. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Your catchy rap in the very beginning, dude. I freaking love it. The straight out of the thrift store, looking for toys galore. Yeah, it's killer, man. Very cool.
Yeah,
dude.
my name is BURF, and this is my turf. I'm straight out of the
thrift store.
People tell me all the time it gets stuck in their head.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah, definitely, man. And I really, like I was saying earlier, I really dig that you do the thrift store stuff because no one else does that, man. And it's like I'm excited because like when I watch your videos, I'm excited to see what you're going to find, man. Because like I said, I'm into vintage a lot too, and I've got to go to vintage toy stores and stuff and try to find the Joes and stuff I'm looking for. And like every once in a while, man, you'll find something, and I'm like happy for you. I'm like, oh, you know, like you found this. I dig it, dude. It's a lot of fun.
You get all jazzed up too.
I get all jazzed, yeah.
He's on the jazz.
And your catchphrases, man. You've got some killer catchphrases. They stick in my head, you know, like Goodwill. Like my son does it sometimes. Like, what you got for me today, Goodwill? I love it, dude. I love it.
Dude,
got for me today. So awesome. I dig it, dude. I dig it. Everybody, if you guys have not subscribed to BURF here, man, please do. You guys are missing out. Like I've got written down here. He is so much fun to watch. He's a blast. He posts a video almost every day, and it's usually a hunt video, and it's fun, man.
It is, man. It's a lot of fun, and it's like kind of what you were saying, where when I go into a thrift store, I don't know what's going to be on the shelf, right? It's a lot of time it's going to be the same stuff it was the day before or the day before that. But it's just those items here and there that pop up that are new. And it's like, and then you're like the first one there to grab it, you know, because I try to get all these stores as they open, like right at 9 a.m. So I'm always like first in there getting the drop on the other toy hunters, you know. And but yeah, you walk in there and I've pulled out some real treasures. I found that like it's kind of best to go thrifting in the morning. Like as soon as the store opens, it's best. They do restocks, you know, throughout the day and stuff like that. So sometimes I've checked in the morning and then going back and checked in the evening. But I found that most of the scores I get come from early morning as the doors open. You know?
I have no luck, man. I have no luck at thrift stores at all. And like I'm always rooting for you. Like when you buy those big boxes that are like 30, 40, 50 bucks, you bought that one for 50. I was like, oh crap.
I know.
There's some good stuff in there, man.
That was a bust. I need to do the update video.
I know that you were going to show a video if there's anything else really good in there, and I didn't see that, so I figured there wasn't any. But it was fun, man. It was fun. I dig those big boxes.
It is fun at the same. Yeah, like you said, when those big boxes pop up in the stores and they're just packed full of toys. Yeah, it really gets your mind going. Like, oh, I can see what's on the outside, but what's on the inside?
I know, that's exciting, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very exciting. Well, what I do on here, like I said, I don't want to keep you long. You know, we usually do just like an hour, but I have a list of questions that I ask. Okay. And it just gets everybody to get to know you a little bit better. They're not real tough. They're pretty easy, but they're fun. Everybody enjoys the questions a lot. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So let me ask you this. What was the first figure that you had as a child? Like the first one that meant a lot to you, you packed around?
Yeah, I'd say, I mean, the earliest child figure I remember, toy, I guess, that I remember just being in love with was the Shogun Godzilla from the 1970s. So he stood probably, I guess, maybe about 18 to 20 inches high. And then he had like an arm. He had his two arms with his hands, but one of his hands, there was a mechanism you could pull a trigger and his fist would fly off. And, and then he had a little thing in the back of his head that you could, like a little switch you could pull up and down, and it would cause like this little tongue to come out of his mouth, you know? And I love this thing so much, and I took it with me everywhere. Like it'd be sitting in the backseat of the car with me, you know, going to my grandma's house. And I remember one time we went to my my great aunt's house, and she didn't have any toys there. I mean, she was probably like in her 70s at the time or 60s or something, you know? And she didn't have any toys there. And I had this Godzilla, but she did have a wiffle ball. So I ended up getting this wiffle ball like from down in her basement, and I went outside and I used my Shogun Godzilla as a bat to like hit the ball. So like I would hold it by the tail and I would just try to crank on it, you know. But yeah, that was like my first toy that I just.
You still have him? Do you still have him?
No.
Dude, are you on the lookout for him?
Well, they sell for about $800 to $900
in
really great condition, and you can get them for about $400 maybe in so. But like, it's one of my grail items. Let's put it that way. I'm not on the hunt for it at the moment, and if I saw one, I wouldn't be able to get it at the moment. But it's definitely a grail.
Was there ever a time that you stopped collecting action figures and stuff? Like your teenage years or anything? Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I think we've all been there, right? And now
Oh,
we have
yeah,
regrets. So, yeah, I stopped collecting. Like, I mean, I grew up in the 80s, so I was born in 1975. I grew up in the 80s, you know, watching He-Man, G.I. Joe, Transformers, Thundercats, all that, right? Yep. And I, you know, my parents, I had a great childhood. I had a really amazing childhood. My dad was a coal miner. And he spent about 17 years working in the coal mines before he ended up, his mine like shut down in the late 80s. So he went back to college and became a Methodist minister, but that's another story.
Wow.
But as a coal miner, you know, he made decent money, but it was really hard work. Yeah. And my parents, you know, they made sure we never went without. So, you know, we were always getting G.I. Joe figures bought for us and stuff like that, you know. But when I got to be about 14, I got all of my toys together. We had a big yard sale, and I literally sold every action figure I had for 25 cents each. So this would have been probably like 1989, 90, something like that, you know. And man, and I didn't collect again until I was like in my mid-20s. When the new Star Wars started coming out,
episode 1
started hitting shelves.
Yep.
I just remember walking in there into the store, like in Target, and having that same feeling of like when I was a kid, seeing Star Wars on the shelf, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta have these. So I ended up buying like this was like in my, like I said, I was like in my mid-20s. I didn't make a lot of money back then, so I spent like $60 on these Star Wars action figures. And after doing that, I literally had like $5 left in my bank account. Like I was like, I have to have them.
That is so crazy, man. That's a weird coincidence for me because I've said this before on here that when I went back to collecting, it was episode 1.
Oh, was it really?
That's so weird. That is so weird. Yeah, that's so weird.
Yeah, right?
I'm just sitting here listening, and I'm like, man, that sure does sound familiar. Like I think if you watch like the first couple of happy hours, you'll hear almost that same story.
Right. You know, actually, and that might be a good thing to post in the comments for you guys watching. Like, tell us, like, have you ever, you know, when did was Star Wars episode? You know, was that like your trigger back into collecting?
Yeah.
You know? I'd be curious to see how many.
That's what I was going to ask you. Was my next question was, what's the first figure you bought as an adult? But I'm the episode 1 line then.
It was Star Wars. I don't remember specifically which one. I do remember that day that I picked those up as an adult. It was like Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker. So it was like, you know, the traditionals and stuff like that. But I did pick up some other like Darth Maul or something like that. You know. Yep. But yeah, that was kind of like my first, and that was back in 2003, maybe 2002. Yeah. So that's kind of when I started back into collecting again.
Episode 1 was so huge too. When those figures came out, it was like they were everywhere. They had all these like play sets and ships and everything. It's like first time we've seen that in a while, you know. Kind of reminded me of G.I. Joe days, really. I was born in 78, so I'm a couple years younger than you are. But I remember G.I. Joe was everywhere. Like, you know, when I was a kid, when I was like 6, 7 years old.
I know, dude.
The whole aisle would just be
like
full.
Mountains of it.
Yeah. Do you remember
like today's toy stores where like the shelves are scarce and
you can't really find anything.
3 figures on the shelf, you know, and it's like, what's this all about? Back in the day, dude, we had like, you know, Han Solos, we had 152 Ewoks, you know.
And it wasn't like if you don't buy this figure, they won't have it next week because like they had a bunch. Yeah. Nowadays it's like, oh man, I better pick that up. Yeah, absolutely. You got hobby? How about some hobbies outside of YouTube? Do you have some other things that you're into?
So I'm a family man. I spend a lot of time with my family. I also love marketing. So I actually, my real job is I run advertising for small businesses. So that's what I do for a living, and I love marketing. It's another passion of mine. I read books on it. I listen to like, you know, Audible books, that sort of thing, and watch YouTube videos, trying to keep myself updated with all the latest strategies that are working to help small businesses grow, you know? So like, and it's not something I do because it's work. It's something I do because
you're enjoying.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of my other hobby, is just learning about marketing and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's cool, man. That's all right. I dig that. You're actually like answering these questions before I ask them because I was going to ask you what else do you watch on YouTube besides toy videos, and you kind of already answered that too. So that's cool, man.
Yeah, I watched that. I've been watching a lot of YouTube shorts lately, actually. You know, similar to TikTok, which I spend a lot of time over there too. Yeah, I watch, you know, conspiracy theory stuff. So I'm definitely one of those guys, you know.
That's cool. That's cool.
But right. So I watch that kind of stuff, and you know, keeping up to date on what's going on in the real world, you know. So I watch those types of videos, but I've been really limiting myself from that, to be quite honest. Because
I'm not much of a news guy at all. I try not to watch the news if I can help it.
Yeah, dude, it'll fill your head with garbage.
Yeah, I'd rather just you know, watch stuff I'm going to enjoy.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and that's the thing I love about YouTube is I get to come here and interact with people that like yourself and people that are like-minded and have similar passions and stuff like that. It's nice talking about this type of stuff than, you know, other stuff.
I've told a lot of my subscribers, it's like when I've got a lot of friends that I talk to outside of YouTube, and they're not into toys. They think it's silly, you know. Like if I see them at Walmart somewhere, they're like, "Man, why are you buying that?" You know, and I'm like, "Well, you know, I collect toys. We collect toys forever." And they all give me crap about it. But like when I get on YouTube and I talk to everybody, we all have this in common, and it's fun, man. I really dig it.
I know it is fun because sometimes you can kind of feel alone on it, right? It's like you know, you're the only one of your friends that like your real life friends. That collects, you know. Like we have people, friends of my wife's, like they'll come over and she'll be like, "You want to show them your toy room?" I'm like, "Yeah." So like, and they'll be like, "Oh my god, like this is wild. This is." Amazing.
I really like the interaction with your family too. When you put your family in your videos, I love it. I love it because your wife kind of gives you a hard time a little bit. And you just roll with it, you know. And they're like, I love it, dude. I think it's cool. My wife's kind of like that too. She kind of, and I dig it. You know, it's really cool.
Right.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's funny because my wife collects as well. You know,
I did not know that.
Yeah, she does. She collects. So she's got her collections of things. She's got an enormous collection, and she started back up when our daughter was little. So when our daughter was little, she was buying like Monster High, Shopkins, things like that. But as our daughter grew out of that, Nicole had come accustomed to like just loving these toys, and she continued to collect. As you know, as we went along, and she still buys toys from time to time, but she gives me a hard time because I buy crap. You know,
I like that though, because like sometimes you'll buy a toy and it might look a little rough, but you're like, I'm gonna fix this up a little bit. You know, I clean this up. This will be okay. And I like that too. Like with the GI Joes and stuff, like crotch pieces might be broke or something, and I'll put new O-rings in them and I'll replace them. And
right, yeah. You know, I don't know if you're familiar with Michael Mercy. His
yes, I love Michael Mercy. Yeah, he's in Canada, I believe, right?
He said something one time when I was watching one of his videos, and it was I'm sorry, what was it we were just talking about? I'm sorry, I just had a brain lapse.
Michael Mercy. Michael Mercy.
Yeah, Michael Mercy, but right before that.
We were talking about cleaning up old toys that are broken stuff.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Thank you. Right. So it ended up. He did a video one time where he was showing this toy that was a little rough and beat up and stuff like that. And the way he said it, he was like, you know, some people look at this toy and think, oh, it's beat up, I don't want it and stuff. But I look at it as a toy that's just been loved, you know, and that always kind of stuck with me. So like now, like when I'm in the thrift store and I see a toy that's beat up, I'm like, you know, that's a toy that got played with. Yeah. That's a toy that brought a lot of joy to some kid. And I think it's cool too because of that.
That is very cool.
So it's but I'll never forget.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot, man. That's really cool. So what got you into YouTube? What got you wanting to put out a YouTube channel? Yeah,
you know, a couple of things actually. Okay. One, during, you know, when everything started back in 2020, there were, you know, things were shut down and stuff like that. So I ended up getting on eBay, and I was on there one day and I was just kind of searching for 80s toys, vintage 80s toys. And I was going through and I was kind of reliving my childhood surfing through eBay. And I was just like, you know, like I want to own one of these. I want to buy something. Right. So I end up buying like this. It was like a three little piece. It was like Popeye, Olive Oil, Brutus, and Wimpy.
Okay.
And like just these three little figures. And that ended up being like the first thing I bought. And then I got them in the mail and just feeling how old they were and still in great shape. But like, just having that feel and having it in my hands, it was like, okay, I got to buy something else. So
yeah, it's that nostalgic feeling, man.
So I started buying a lot of 80s toys and recapturing my childhood in like March of 2020, April, May, June. And I just kind of continued. But as I got into the summer months, somebody told me, sometimes you can find vintage toys in thrift stores. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, okay, well, that sounds fun, at least, so let me go try this. So I started going into thrift stores and wasn't really having any luck. I wasn't finding anything like vintage and really, was finding a lot of like baby toys, like at Goodwill, and stuff like that. But I kind of just kept checking back. And then one day I know what it was. It was actually, I forget which one. It was a vintage toy, but I don't remember what it was specifically. You think I'd remember. But I got it, and I was just like, oh, man, this would have made a great video to record and post on YouTube. Because I was kind of watching I was watching some toy hunt videos. So I ended up filming through the summer. Like every day I was filming, and never posted a single video. And I ended up having like 70 videos in the can that I never uploaded to YouTube. They were edited and everything, right?
Wow.
Yeah. And then I talked to a friend of mine. His name is Mark Moss. He has a YouTube channel, but it's in like the investing world. So he talks a lot about cryptocurrencies, protecting your wealth, the great reset that's coming, the housing market. Yeah. So he talks a lot of financial stuff. And Mark told me, he's like, we were talking one day. He's like, dude, you need to get on YouTube. He's like, you need to start a YouTube channel. And I said, oh, really? He goes, yeah. He goes, I started one about 18 months ago. And now at this point in time, he was like at 120,000 subscribers.
Wow.
And he goes, 18 months in, 120,000 subscribers. And he said, I'm actually making about $17,000 a month from YouTube. On the ad roll that I'm getting paid for them to put ads on my videos. And I was like, really? And he was like, yeah. And he goes, and that's not including sponsorships that I got and all this other stuff. And I was like, man, I recorded all these videos and never uploaded them.
Sitting, yeah.
Right? So I was like, okay, I need to start a YouTube channel. So I end up let me back up. I had actually started the YouTube channel in March.
Okay.
And I uploaded a couple of unboxing videos, but then went this really long span of recording video and never uploading it. So I end up start uploading video, and all of a sudden, I get a subscriber. And then it was like 2 subscribers. And then it went to like 5 subscribers. And I was like, wow, like people are like, and then people were commenting. And I was I'd done stuff in the marketing world, uploading marketing videos to YouTube, but I've never had anybody comment on them ever. Like people were commenting, so I started like commenting back, and then like I started building relationships with people, and the next thing I know, it's the channel's growing, and I was just like, well, you know what, I've got my main job. I'm doing this as like I love filming, I love entertaining. Yeah. I love the messages I get from people about the videos, telling me like how they watch it with their whole family, or your videos make my kids laugh, and all this stuff. And then one guy was even like, as much as I love your toy hunts, we love watching the Burfields more in my family. And I was just like, oh, that's awesome, And it's like it feels good to bring joy to people, but at the same time, like if the channel grows, it's a great way to make additional income.
Yeah,
So I was like, and that's not why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because I love it, right? And if I ever stop loving it, then I'll stop it altogether, But like it's kind of exciting to think about. Like, wow, I could be like a YouTuber.
It's enjoyable, man. It's a lot of fun being on YouTube and like meeting people and stuff, and it's a blast. I agree 100%. Okay, let's see. We're having so much fun talking, man. I'll forget what I asked.
I know, this is fun.
Okay, what's your favorite figure of all time? Like your favorite figure that you own right now?
I actually pulled them out. So, by the way, got some Old Trapper beef jerky going here.
Ooh, that's good.
I'll pull one of these out.
There you go.
But let me show you. I actually pulled these two
Okay,
figures
cool.
out.
Excellent.
These are like my most prized toys.
Excellent.
So
Excellent.
this first one is, let's see if I
Hold on, let me give you the whole screen. Let me give you the whole screen for a minute.
Oh, there we go. Thank you.
Silverhawks. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let me see if I can turn this light down and maybe not get as much of a glare
You
off.
can't find those no more, man. Silverhawks, you can't find them anywhere.
Yeah, I ended up finding them on eBay, but this thing is like, it is, so his arms, let's see,
Yep.
arms fold down,
Put
and
your
then when you
legs down.
squeeze his legs together,
Yep.
so cool,
That was a
right?
good show too, man. I love Silverhawks.
What's hard about these figures is that the paint, the metallic paint that they used, it rubs off very, very easily. So to find one of these in like pristine condition is extremely rare. And like, cause the paint on their nose rubs off, their chest plate, all the chrome is rubbed off on a lot of them. And then this guy pulled up and he literally like didn't have a mark on him. And like,
Wow.
well, I'm exaggerating a little bit. He's got a couple of little scratch marks,
Yeah, but nothing,
barely noticeable. But yeah, so Quicksilver is the first one. And then Copper Kid.
Yeah, that is awesome, bro. That is awesome.
And the same thing with him. It's just hard to find them like in great condition. So these ones are, he's got one little tiny mark like on the side of his face, like a little black dot. But other than
Now, did
that,
you have any of those as a kid? Any of the
I did.
Silverhawks?
Yes,
I had a couple myself.
Yeah, so I had Quicksilver, and then I had oh gosh, the Space Cowboy guy.
I had the Space Cowboy. Yeah, he didn't have wings. He came with a guitar though.
Yes, that's what was awesome. Cowboy hat, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, but those are my favorite, my most prized toys.
Yeah, those are cool, man. Those are very cool. I like those a lot. Good pick, man. Good pick.
Thank you.
So, if you could have any figure, if I was to say, Burf, I'm gonna buy you whatever figure you want, one figure, it can be anything. What would it be? And this is a really good question because you really find out, like, you know, who's into the new stuff or who's into the vintage stuff, or I mean, it's a hard one. A little bit. It's a hard one a little bit. I lied. Some of these are hard.
Right. You know what? If I could have one figure, I would have, I believe it was, I want to say 78 or 79, Clash of the Titans, the Kraken.
Wow.
That's what I want.
Okay.
Like,
all right.
It's a huge piece.
Okay.
It's really big. And it's marvelous.
That's sweet, man.
Yeah.
That's sweet. Okay. All right. So here's another good one. You can have any vehicle. Now, when I say this, a lot of people will say, like, you know, the Back to the Future DeLorean, you know, or, you know, the Batmobile. But I'm saying any vehicle. Like, it could be imaginary. Like, I said the Millennium Falcon. So that gives you,
right.
yeah. So anything, bro. What would you pick? What would you pick?
Man, what would I pick? You know, I've got a couple in mind, and even though like it could literally be anything, well, let me see if I can expand my mind just for a little bit. You know, that it could be anything.
Yeah,
because I'm kind of keeping it in this box, you know.
Yeah.
Let me see. If I could pick any vehicle, you pick the Millennium Falcon.
My buddy Dave's Dimension, when I had him on here, he's in the chat right now. He picked the Doctor Who phone booth, so he could do like anything. I was like, "Wow, I've never thought of that."
Right? Yeah, it could be like Bill and Ted's phone.
That was a pretty good one.
Ted's phone booth.
Yeah,
Right?
there you go. Yeah.
Gosh, man, you know, I'm just gonna be probably kind of lame with this and keep it like
That's okay.
Terrestrial. I would probably go with the A-Team van. I would love to have the A-Team van it just went, that thing, like, I mean, I know it was all, it's all
I can
TV.
see you right now driving it.
That thing
Big
went through a
cigar in
lot.
your mouth, because I know you love cigars.
Right,
You'd be like,
exactly.
I love it when a plan comes together. I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. That's awesome.
The
That's a
Millennium
good one,
Falcon,
man.
though, dude, that would be, you'd have to give me a ride in it for sure.
The Falcon?
Yeah.
I need a yard big enough to park
speed.
it. I don't know where I'd park it at, Maybe like a closed down mall or something, like the parking lot or something.
There was an episode of Family Guy where I think Peter was like in a spaceship and then he like wrecked it into like the roof of their house and that's where he parked it. And I think he was like, hey Lois, what's for dinner or something like that. Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah, I remember when he got a tank. I remember the tank one that he had. I feel like I think I remember some kind of spaceship or something too.
Yeah.
That's funny. What's your favorite movie of all time?
Favorite movie of all time?
You can watch over and over that, you can almost
I would
quote.
have to say Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Raiders Lost Ark, yes.
Yeah,
Raiders Lost Ark.
Yeah, I'm a big Raiders fan.
Awesome.
Yeah, that would be it.
Favorite actor?
Favorite actor? Man, I'm so kind of out of touch with modern actors. I don't know. It's funny. My wife and I were talking. We were like, they were, doing commercials about some award shows, and we were like, who? Like,
yeah, I'm like,
I don't know any of these people. Like, and she was like, I think we officially became old with that question.
Yeah,
she's funny. But let's see, my favorite actor. Gosh, I mean, not in his later movies, but like in his earlier movies, definitely Harrison Ford.
Oh yeah, Harrison Ford. I thought you were going to say that after the Indiana Jones thing. I was waiting for it. I thought you were going to say Harrison Ford.
Yeah, I just like him as an actor.
Yeah, I do too, man. He's awesome. You got a favorite TV show?
Currently, yes. I have one called Oak Island.
Okay.
It's on History Channel.
Okay.
It's really interesting. It's actually the new season's going to be starting up like sometime next month, I think, or something. Or
Am I wrong, or is that like the treasure hunters? Are they like going after treasure that?
Yeah,
it's
like a 225-year-old treasure. There's been a lot of expeditions. Past presidents have been there as part of excavation crews to try and find the treasure. Like Franklin Delano Roosevelt, he was one of the people in the logbooks of actually working on the site,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the stuff that they haven't. I mean, they haven't found any treasure, right? And that's kind of the catch for everybody is, they'll never find it. Is there, But they do pull a lot of artifacts out of the ground, and it makes me believe that there's probably something there because there's a lot of just like they have found several like Knights Templar pendants and stuff like that, and like that they've pulled like out of the earth, like 90 feet underground and shit. Like it's really wild, right? So like it's like, well, what was that doing 90 feet underground? Like wasn't that long ago that it would have been 90 feet underground,
Yeah, why would it get there anyways? Yeah.
Yeah, so there were these tunnel systems that were built like under the island. But anyway, that's my current favorite show.
Okay. All right. Do you have a favorite music artist?
I have a favorite music band. My favorite band of all time is AC/DC.
What? No, it's not. Are you joking?
Is it yours? Is it yours? No, it's not.
Oh my god! Oh my god! So I'm going to tell you a real quick story. Okay. So in the beginning, when I first started my channel, I was getting a lot of subscribers, and YouTube, for some reason, we call it YouTube's been YouTube, and that's what we call it. When you start losing subscribers, I'm like, man, YouTube's been YouTubing again. So I lost a bunch of subscribers right out of the blue. And I always do a live on Wednesday nights. And I'm Rebels, Reptiles, and Games. So I said on one Wednesday, I just had a wild hair, I'm like, whatever. I love AC/DC, okay? And so I told everybody, I said, you know what? I said, I don't care if I get in trouble, copyright claim, whatever. This is live. We're playing AC/DC tonight. So I played Thunderstruck, like the whole song, which is my favorite AC/DC song. Yeah. So after I did that, then I played some other AC/DC song stuff, but so after I did that, whenever I get in people's chats and stuff, like other people's lives, they're like, "Oh, it's a thunder! Hey, bring the thunder! It's Thunderstruck!" So now every time I do a live in the very beginning, I play Thunderstruck. Like right now, I've got right now where I've been playing "Have a Drink on Me" for the happy hour. AC/DC Have a Drink. It's right here. I've got it set up. But yeah, dude, I freaking love AC/DC. And so now I play
they don't have a bad song.
Huh? What's that?
They don't have a bad song.
No way. Yeah, but Thunderstruck. So since everybody will say, "Hey, you know, we want to hear Thunder," blah blah, I'll play a couple little seconds of it, and then YouTube doesn't mess with it. But yeah, I had a bunch of copyright claims and stuff on that very first one because dude, I was blasted. I didn't care. But then everybody was like, "Oh man, well he's got," because there's, you know, I was saying Rebels is going to rebel tonight. You know, we're going to listen to AC/DC. So every sentence, man, that's so weird. Really, AC/DC. Wow,
Yeah, man.
made my day. That's amazing. All right,
Yo,
so
Joe.
do you have a favorite song? Do you have a favorite song?
Favorite song? I love Thunderstruck, dude. It's like my yeah. So yes.
Oh my god.
But
oh
you know,
my god. This is crazy.
I like Enter Sandman as well. You know.
Yeah.
I like rap music too. So the only thing I don't really like, and it's not that I don't like all of it. Some songs are okay but primarily like country. I'm just not really a country music guy, you know.
Yeah.
Although there are some country songs that, you know, I can rock to, you know what I mean? But but I listen to a lot of like heavy metal, that type, you know, hip hop, rap, things like that. Electronica, like when I first moved to Dallas back in the back in 2000.
Yeah.
Because I'm originally from Pennsylvania,
okay.
so I moved to Dallas in 2000, and I was you know, I grew up in the countryside of Pennsylvania. The town I'm from had 700 people in it. So like, and the next town over was like 5 to 6 miles away, and it had maybe like 1,200 people in it. You know what I mean? So it was like kind of spread out. So I'd never been in a club in my entire life. You know, I've been to like a bar that played music, but I'd never been to a club. So I got here to Dallas. We're like, dude, we need to take you out and show you the Dallas nightlife. And I was like, okay, you know, so we go out and they take me to like these techno clubs. And oh my God, like, dude, I had the time of my life.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, it was amazing, you know, and I was just like, well, I didn't realize I could like this music this much. You know, it was like that real hard trance.
Oh yeah.
Music, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and they drop the beat, you know. But but anyway, I don't know what. Yeah,
wow.
I like all kinds of music, but Thunderstruck's my top.
That is amazing, dude. That's so funny. I have you ever heard of Salacious Crumb? Salacious Rum? I'm sorry. Okay, so have you watched him on YouTube, Salacious Rum?
Oh, Salacious Rum. Oh, I thought you meant Salacious Crumb, as in.
Well, he's the puppet on there on YouTube. Yeah, he's got his own channel.
I don't know about that channel.
Well, he's great. You'd love him. You'd love him. He's great. He's super funny. I had him. I had him as a guest on the happy hour, and he lives in London. And I asked him what his favorite song was, and he started singing Thunderstruck. I'm like, oh, you're kidding me! I'm like, no way. You have to watch it. You have to go back on my channel, watch it. It's so
guys our age, it's just in our blood.
Yes, absolutely. Wow. So, what's your favorite 80s cartoon?
Oh, favorite 80s cartoon? Big He-Man fan.
He-Man, yeah.
I would say I actually liked He-Man better than G.I. Joe was my number 2. Wow. But I was a big He-Man fan.
I did watch a lot of He-Man as a kid too.
Yeah, and like when I go back and like watch it now as an adult, it's like those lessons that they taught at the end, like the moral of the story part at the very end of the show where they taught something. And like, I was like, wow, you know, it's like, you don't see this anymore, like with cartoons. Yeah. In fact, cartoons, like even what is considered kids' cartoons, is pretty risque. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's
and a little violent, like way more violent than like G.I. Joe.
Yeah, it's
You know,
just
like G.I. Joe, they'd be shooting each other all the time, but nobody got shot. You know?
yeah, nobody got killed, right? You know, it's funny. The A-Team, right? So like, if you go back and watch old A-Team episodes, everybody gets shot at, cars get blown up, but everybody lives.
Yeah,
you know. And matter of fact, it wasn't until season 3, first episode of season 3, Hannibal is about to get shot, and Murdoch jumps in front of him and takes a bullet in the chest. And it was the first time they had showed blood on an episode of the A-Team. So
I do not remember that episode. I'm gonna have to watch
3 seasons in. Yeah, I've gone to YouTube and I've purchased the seasons of the A-Team, and I'm going through them. Like each week I watch a couple episodes or something, you know? And I'm going through them, and I just got into season 3. And this whole time, like, I've not seen any blood drawn. I didn't see you never saw anybody actually get like shot or hit. You know, and it was just like, I told my wife, I said, that's really, looking back on it, it was like that was a transition in television time when we were coming out of not showing that stuff, and like, oh, let's put a little bullet wound in them and see what the people think.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
True. Yeah, that was
the reaction wasn't all that bad, so it was like, all right, let's give them 2 bullet holes next time. You know, next thing you know, it's
oh yeah.
And people are getting their heads blown up.
It's completely different now, than it was when we were kids, for sure. Let's see. If you could, here's another one. If you could travel back in time or the future, which one would you pick?
If I could travel back in time or the future, I would definitely go back in time. I would go back in time, and I would probably, like, one of the first places I'd stop is I'd probably go back to World War II.
Ooh.
Like that era. Like, I'd want to go back and like witness some of that. You know
that
what I mean?
That would be interesting. Yeah, that would be interesting.
Anybody that follows my channel knows, like, you know, I like military toys. Stuff like that. But like, I like military history as well. So like, I've studied World War I and World War II history. My brother is really into the Civil War. In fact, he even reenacts. So he's got a Confederate outfit, and then he's got a Union outfit. So depending on what reenacting he's doing, he'll dress the different part, you know. But yeah, my dad was like that though too. My dad was real interested in military history.
That's cool, man. That's really cool. I know when I seen your video of all your toys, your walkthrough of all your toys, which is a great video. There were some really old military figures that you had that like blew my mind.
Yeah, they're real. They're from like the 1930s.
There were some like from Germany or like the German soldiers. So
yeah,
wow, this is so neat.
Yeah, I actually have a so they're German toys, and they're German. This is from the 1930s, like when World War II was going on and whatnot. So I've got an Adolf Hitler being escorted in his car with
that was so crazy
German soldiers in there. So I've got that. I've got a Joseph Goebbels, who was the propagandist for Nazi Germany. I got a toy of him, and then I also have like I have like even like a General MacArthur toy. You know what I mean?
Did you find those thrift store shopping? Did you find those?
No, I got those on eBay.
Okay, so, I was gonna say, that would be amazing to find something like that. It didn't blew my mind when I seen them.
Wow. Some of them were like, matter of fact, one of the toys that I bought, the guy in Germany who I bought it from actually called me. And I got this weird phone number that came across my phone, and I was like, I don't know who that is. I'm not answering it, you know. But they left a voicemail, and it was something like, "Hi, Chris, this is Franz from Germany. You just ordered from me on eBay. I wanted to let you know that like that one that you got, his arm is kind of in a position where it's about to fall off. I've got a little better condition one, but it'd be like $50 more." And I was like, all right, I'll go with the better condition. And he sent me pictures, and he emailed them to me. He's like, I'll send you some pictures. You can look and stuff. And I could see he was being truthful. The arm was about to fall off, and the other one was in really great condition. So I ended up, doing that. But that was kind of an experience. I'm like,
That's
wow,
wild, man. Yeah, that's wild.
Germany.
Right, right. If you could do one crazy thing, and it could be like bungee jumping, parachuting, anything like that, one crazy thing, what would you do? My buddy Artwalk, I had him on here, and he said that he would like to ride in a jet, like be like the passenger and like and just take off, like Top Gun style, like I think that would be fun.
Right?
That'd be something cool as an example.
That sounds really awesome.
Really
So, and it's one crazy thing. Well, one thing I'll let people know is that I'm afraid of heights. In fact, I've only been on a roller coaster once in my life, and it was when my daughter was like, I don't know, 7 years old, 8 years old. I would never go on roller coasters because I just thought they're too scary. So I went on that with her, which was an experience. I'll never actually go back on one. But if I were to do something crazy, I wouldn't do anything like that. That's too lame. I would, what I'd like to do? There's a company, I don't remember the name of it, but it used to be in the back of like my hunting and fishing magazines back when I was a kid. And I think that they're still around because I think I've seen other advertisements. But what they do is they will take you up in old World War II style planes, like P-51
like biplanes
things, right?
Yeah.
And they will take you up in those, and they will do a dogfight with you and other people that are there for the experience. So they have like groups of people come in, and then they all go to their assigned.
That sounds awesome.
And then a pilot drives it, but you get to experience the dogfight and stuff like that. So
that sounds awesome, dude.
Something like that. Yeah.
That sounds really cool. That sounds really cool.
There's actually a place here in Texas too that they have an old World War II Sherman tank. It's like one of the old. I think it's like one of the oldest, or if not the only oldest work. Out on you. Am I back?
Working tank, the oldest working tank.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I cut out on my side.
Oh, you're good, buddy. You're all right.
Oldest working Sherman tank left in the United States, and it's in Texas. And they will take you out on it, and then you actually get depending on what price you want to pay, because there's different levels. You can fire like up to like 3 rounds like out of the cannon.
Dude, that'd be awesome.
Can you imagine like just finding shit to blow up with it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That'd be great. That'd be great. So I only have two more questions for you.
Okay.
If you could have a superpower, what would it be? That's kind of a hard one too. Yeah,
I'm kind of like my first thought that popped into my head is that I would want to be able to read people's minds. That was like the first thing, but then like the split second after that, I was like, well, do I really want to know what's going on in other people's minds?
Right. It'd be like that Mel Gibson movie where he could read the women's thoughts. Do you remember that movie?
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I guess that would be kind of my initial thing. But if I could do like something physical, I think it would just be to fly.
To fly.
Just to fly, man, and be able to like get from point A to point B as fast as possible, and yeah.
And what's your favorite thing about doing YouTube?
My favorite thing to do on YouTube?
No, your favorite thing about doing YouTube, about being a YouTuber. What's your favorite thing about it?
The people, hands down. Like I've built like some really awesome relationships with people, even though it only, it's happening like in the comment section or in my, private messages on Facebook or my DM on Instagram.
Yeah.
Even if it's just conversations that are taking place there, I've like have people that like I've grown to like consider my friends now. Like you're not just a YouTube subscriber, like you're my friend, and that's cool. And I actually want to get to know everybody like that. I want to know everybody on that friend level. Right. But some people, they don't comment or, they enjoy the channel and they like it. But they just, they're shy. They don't want to engage in a comment or anything like that. But I appreciate those people.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm friends with a lot of my subscribers. I talk to them a lot. Like my buddy John Joker, that you've probably seen on here a lot when we do the GI Joe things and stuff.
right.
Me and him
Yep.
talk all the time, and we shoot ideas off each other a lot. You know, like, man, should we do this or try this? And you know, it's
Right.
just. And he came up with the same friends and family, and we use that a lot on this channel too. And that's really how I think of my subscribers are friends and family, because I talk to a lot of them.
Yeah,
I
right.
talk to a lot of them on Instagram and everything else, and in chats and stuff, and they're really cool. So
It's kind of funny. So I went to a GI Joe convention here in Grapevine, Texas, a few months back, and I think it was over the summer. And anyway, I went there and I filmed and then I uploaded it. And there was this guy named Keith Goodwin, and he ended up like going onto YouTube, and he saw the video of the convention, but he was at the convention, and he was like, and I realized that like I had seen you at the convention, but just didn't know like it was you. Like, it was the first time I was seeing you, but I was like, oh yeah, I remember seeing him filming at the convention, you know? But he ended up like messaging me on Facebook, and then we kind of became Facebook friends. And then like we talk to each other like every day. And you know, he's a thrifter as well. So he'll send me photos or video footage, and he's really knowledgeable on a lot of stuff. He's a little bit older than me. But I'm 46. Okay. And I can't remember what Keith said. Keith, if you're watching, because I know he's going to come watch, I think you said you're like in your early 50s, or maybe it's 48 or 49. I don't know. Anyway, but like he'll send me, or he's real helpful. So I ended up finding this 2005 Lucasfilm Masters replica of Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber, like in the thrift store. Okay. Right? Yeah. So this thing sells for about $140, and I got it for $1.99.
What?
Yeah. So I got it's like one of my latest videos, right?
Awesome.
So I got it, but it was severely corroded. Somebody left the batteries in it and stuff. So I'm assuming whoever owned it previously was like, oh, this thing's broken. Because when I tried to screw the cap off where the batteries go, it was like locked. Like it would not budge, and it was like, you know, the cap was only about this big, so it was kind of hard to get your grip on it. And So anyway, long story short, Keith, I showed him. I said, "Hey, do you know anything about getting, you know, loosening this up so I can get the cap off?" And he ended up, he's like, "Just go get some dishwasher gloves. Like if your wife's got dishwasher gloves, the rubber will create a good grip, and you might be able to."
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So I ended up taking the lightsaber, and the end of it, I tapped it on the cement outside, and I kind of rotated it and kept tapping it, maybe kind of jar some of that up a little bit.
Out of there.
And then I took it and popped it right off. And then he's like, "Okay, next you're going to take baking soda and white vinegar, and you're going to clean it, all that corrosion off." So I went and I did that, and then like I put those batteries in, and boom, baby.
Awesome.
Like, yeah.
Awesome, man. I can't believe you got that for $1. That's amazing. I've got a few of them. I've got a few of them. They are not cheap, man. I've got a bunch of them. When I start my lives, I usually have a couple of these in my hands.
Oh, wow.
And playing with them.
Very cool.
Yeah, I've got this one. Here's Mace Windu's.
Oh, nice.
This is pretty cool. And then I've got I've got a few. I've got Kylo Ren's.
Oh, wow.
Got Luke's Return of the Jedi.
Oh, wow.
And let's see, I've got a Vader one right here. But they're master replicas, and I think the only one that's not a master replica is the Kylo Ren one. It's the Black Series that they did. It's like a replica.
Yeah, I saw like those things are not cheap, bro.
Yeah, I can't believe you found one for $1, dude. That's awesome. That's an awesome score, bro.
I was stoked about it.
Awesome score, yeah. You're jazzed. You're jazzed.
I was jazzed, man. Yeah, I was jazzed.
I love that, man. I love that. Yeah. Well, man, I don't want to keep you too long. I usually ask everybody in the chat if they have any questions. If you guys have any questions, if you want to hit them up real quick on BURF, let us know.
Thanks, Nathan Bowden. Appreciate you stopping in.
Yeah, this has been good, man. This has been a lot of fun. I knew it would be. I knew we were going to have a blast, man. This has been a really good one.
Nathan Bowden show. So he's got a show. All right.
Yeah, he does a wrestling. He does a wrestling he does a wrestling YouTube channel, and he has one of my buddies, Tasman, and my other buddy, America's Most Wanted. They have this thing on Tuesday nights where they sit and talk about wrestling. That's really cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's enjoyable.
Yeah, I have to give him a follow. Give him a subscribe.
Absolutely. Yeah, you have to check out a lot of these people that I talked to, man. Like Salacious Rum, man. I think you would get a kick out of him. Like I said, he was in England, London.
Oh,
and he,
dude, here's the chat over here. On my side, it was on private chat, and I
Oh,
was like,
shoot.
I'm like, where are you seeing all these people? And then like I looked over and I had to click on comment. There they are, like lots of them.
Yeah, these lives are a blast, man. They're a lot of fun. But yeah, I do a live every Wednesday night. Check it out, man. Anytime you want to hop in or whatever, I'll let you
I
in
was
or whatever.
on last week, and I was like, oh yeah, he does shows like this. That's cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun,
I
man.
didn't know you did them until last week or when I saw that. Well,
Yeah,
I guess I mean,
blast.
I did this one, and I kind of knew then, but that was like the first one I tuned into.
Yeah, every Wednesday at 7. I usually don't miss it. I usually do every Wednesday at 7. I do a few toy hunts here and there, you know, throughout the week and stuff. But I've been trying to do the happy hour every Friday. You'll be getting a shirt. I know I messaged you about what size. This is what it will look like. Happy hour with Rebels. Nice. I send them to everybody.
Thank you so much.
No problem, man. Send me
colors.
Yeah, so send me your address or PO box or whatever on Instagram later, and I will send that out to you. I'll send that out to you. So
awesome, man. Hey, thanks for having me on.
No problem, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for being on. This has been a blast. I really enjoyed talking to you.
This was a lot of fun.
And keep putting out those videos, man. I love them, dude. They're great. They are.
I will, man. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Until next time, everybody, have fun collecting. If you guys have not subscribed to BURF, I know a lot of people watch these after the live. If you guys have not subscribed to BURF, please do. It's 80s Toys Rock, and rock is spelled how, BURF?
R-O-C!
All right. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. It's been a blast. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Good night, guys.